So we're shitting on Sweet Baby again. Fuck yeah, see? Because I just love shitting on Sweet Baby. But Flintlock is that, the new game is a very interesting situation, right? Because when I think his name's Cabrutus, the guy that made the whole Sweet Baby tracker, I think he's Brazilian, right? When he made that, and again, people were looking at this and being like, okay, because this was at that time, that far away time long ago when Sweet Baby was in the guise of the consumer, and people were actively going out of their way to boycott Sweet Baby because we see the effects these consultant companies have on art and on gaming as a whole, and it's not positive, right? They say the words that, ideologically possessed people want to hear, but they don't release good products. And people see this and they're like, okay, so what other games have had Sweet Baby on them so I know not to buy these games? And when all that was going on, the developers at Flintlock got in contact with Cabrutus and was like, look, we didn't know about this whole situation, right? We just hired them just to cover our ass pretty much so we don't have the mafia come after us. And they're probably expecting that to just be alright, but then Cabrutus was like, okay, show me evidence that you disassociated. And they ghosted him. And then the game comes out, and you see these very themes that you see in the games that had the consultants and the Sweet Baby. Look, this is the problem, right? With Sweet Baby, you get to figure out all the changes and all the things they've done. Like, a Sweet Baby has touched the game when you see certain themes. And here's but a couple. You have the African American with the academic African American haircut. You have the rap music playing. Again, in a fantasy game, or I guess in this game it was more of an early 1800s looking slight fantasy aesthetic. You have the obese woman of color. You have, the they, thems. You have pronouns in the game. You know how you address people when they're not in the room, but this is how you address the pixels in the game, like on the screen. And, those are just amongst the things you see because people see these things, they know why they're there. They're not there for the consumer. The gamer really do not care about pronouns. Like maybe a couple of ideologically driven individuals do. Again, the pronouns is how you address people when they're not even in the fucking room. And people legitimately think you should go to jail for misgendering someone. This is the mental illness that's going on. But I digress. People see these things and they're like, yeah, this must have had Sweet Baby in it, right? Because again, most of these consultants swing in the same circles. They went to the same universities, so they enact the same rules and legislations in games, and they demand the most money, and not even down to the very code. Right? They want to make sure you're not using standardized words like master, slave, or like whitelist and blacklist. Right? It's why games come out buggy, broken, unplayable. It's why patches come out to fix these things come out months later. It's simply because of all of these things. Like, they're fucking with the code. They're fucking with the developers. They're fucking with the artists. Like, and you see that it takes absolutely zero effort to censor. Like, it takes effort to create, right? You know what American entertainment used to do, right? That takes effort. To censor takes absolutely no effort whatsoever. You're just sitting there in your office, with air conditioning, with windows, sipping your latte and being like, no, this isn't allowed. No, this isn't allowed. No, this isn't allowed. No, this isn't allowed. Let me write a few emails and then call it a day. Right? A very easy, cushy job, but if you have half of the company doing these and the other half actually doing the work, again, what you get are games that take years to come out. You get patches that take years. And again, these consultants, they take a lot of money. So you have games that cost hundreds of $1,000,000 to make, right? Above that, they're effectively playing, empire building in a company. And it's ideological nepotism also, because they will sooner hire a straight white man that says the things they want to hear than an African American with any talent. Because, right, here's what's going to happen. The African American with talent is going to be like, why am I working side by side with this guy? But I'm the only one working. He's just sitting there talking on the phone, writing a couple emails and leaving. Like, why do he make more than me, someone who actually has talent and is actually driving the company, right? And again, this creates the, culture and the environment of, not caring about the art you produce. You just suck up a paycheck, treat it like any other job. And when it comes to art, this just does not fly. Again, America used to make good art. And again, Japan's doing no different than what America used to do in the early 2000s. They've just perfected the idea, right? And I generally don't think, well, okay, there are some damn good anime, but in the early 2000s that there was anime, but you had World of Warcraft, you had League of Legends, like you had Grand Theft Auto, like you had IPs that were so damn good. You had cartoons, you had movies that were so damn good. People looked at anime and was like, well, what is this shit for kids? Like, nah, I'm gonna stick with my World of Warcraft. I'm gonna stick with my Battlestar Galacticas. I'm gonna stick with my Stargate, right? Because they were superior products at the time. Now, that has changed. Like, the consumer mindset has changed, and now anime seems to be giving the consumer what they want, while Western entertainment is not. And in fact, it gladly doesn't, right? Because you have the changes done to the games. Another one of the changes you see is, you have the woman in her 40s, right? In a game that's meant for young adolescent men. They hire the grandma. And if you're making a game or a movie or a TV show for young adolescent men, at most the characters need to be 25. Like, it's okay to have the granny in the show, but I mean, the age 40 woman is going to be the granny, and it makes no sense. But you see this with the new Borderlands movie. All the women are over the age of 40, but the guys look fine. Like, you see this in even the boys, and you see these things, and it's like, okay, they either had consultants, they're either trying to get ESG, because, right, you can't tell me, like, say, for Star Wars and Disney, right? It's a multi-billion-dollar, it has more money than most first world nations on the planet. You cannot tell me that the art of marketing is lost to them. Like, they actively know what the consumer wants, and they do everything in their power to give you the exact opposite. And for ideological reasons, you're supposed to defend them. But it's like, anyone, including your mother, with half a brain would be like, but why, though? Like, well, what do you hope to achieve? And I universally assume malice. Like, if it was incompetence, they'd get something right. But it's malice, because they know what the consumer wants. But they do the exact opposite. Like, they purposely try to go for the controversy to sell the product as opposed to, you know, putting out a good product that people want to see. And I'm pretty sure the controversy also contributes to the ESG. But, I mean, again, it's Disney. I don't even think they care about ESG. But, and again, people seeing these changes, seeing the controversy, and Sweet Baby is just this big black stain on gaming companies. So again, I don't think they're going away. They'll either rebrand or they'll do it and demand the company signed an NDA and not put it anywhere in the contract. Right? They're going hush hush about this. And honestly, again, I shat on Grooms for talking about what was it, the First Descendant, and being like, "Oh, this is how you do it," and I'm like, "Dude, shut the fuck up," right? Again, this is how they act, and we should act the same way, you know, just shit on their products, but if a good product comes out, you shut the hell up, put your money, put your time, and, you know, tip the developer, as they say, you know, tip the developer of the things you want to play and the things you want to see, and just shut the hell up. Because look, this tactic works, right? If they see something, they will go after it, right? Like these individuals, their entire life is online, and they seek you out. They actively seek out enemies. They seek out people to impose their daddy issues. They seek you out. So, again, you should just not adhere to these standards at all, right? You should just, you see the things you like, and you just support them in silence. You know, I think that's just a better way to look at it. Where the fuck did my mouse go? Completely lost it, which is hype. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about this. I mean, I was kinda hyped about this game, but seeing the whole controversy and the whole artistic look to it, I was like, no. Like, this looks like a man, I'm sorry. Like, this woman looks like a dude. And it just doesn't, okay, this looks better. Like, when the game was first, showed, it looked good. But then they made artistic decisions that made me go like, yeah, no, turning away. And it sucks because it could generally be a good game. I just do not care anymore after this controversy, so it is what it is. I'm playing First Descendant, worst game of the year, 0 out of 10. Wouldn't recommend. And that's just that. Peace.